2 or 3 more points.
When
Yeah.
they have different way to say thank you at the last.
Yeah.
At the end, the way they thank to the audience.
Yes. Oh, there is one thing. They call it. They did a salutation. Yeah. All the actors, the players, they came together and they saluted the audience. Yeah? Okay. I'm waiting for this word actually. It didn't come from you. Actually, behind this, okay, behind this show, they utilize technology. Okay? A lot of technology being used. This is one show. It didn't show that much of technology, but actually in preparation and developing all those the props and so on, yeah, there is a lot of technology. Have you been to another show similar to Cirque du Soleil? I got the opportunity to be in China. Okay, there is a big theater, okay, called Han Theater, which is in Wuhan. Okay, and I've been to that theater once, and I was invited by the host, and I was so fascinated the way they do similar to Cirque du Soleil. The show is just similar, but the theme is Chinese. Okay, also there has a storyline. Okay, but the one that I really fascinated is the technology that they use. Okay, I was searching last night to find the video which I took. I couldn't find it. If I got it, I will share with you later. Okay, very interesting. This is the same thing when they prepare this. Okay, they use a lot of technology, automation systems. Okay, the movement of the props and so on come in and out. People flying here and there. All these are with technology. And I haven't seen any of the clips from Cirque du Soleil where they change the stage. Okay, the stage is transformed from one type of environment to another type of environment. This was also done. Okay, for example, from a garden based on stage like a garden into a swimming pool, which really swimming pool. There's water, people swimming inside it, and then suddenly it becomes like a playing field again, and so on. Yeah? This all technology that come together with it. So they utilize technology. All right. Okay. In relation to value configurations, okay, I want to ask you. You know what's the ticket price to go into the show? What's the price? Roughly in US dollar. Yeah? I don't think you can get 100 US dollar.
20.
Easily about 300 to 500 US dollar. Okay? 300 to 500 US dollar. The one I've been to the Han show is about 2 hours. Sorry, 1.5. Slightly more than 1.5 hour show. It costs us about yeah, about 300 US dollars. Okay? So it's not that cheap. Alright. So talking about that ticket price and people still pay, okay, something like 300 US dollars. Alright. In relation to value configuration, okay, how they come up with that price? Okay, when they prepare all this show, and then they decide, okay, we want to charge the audience 3,000 US dollar per head. Okay, what are the basic elements, okay, that they use in order for them to decide on this price? Is the value that people are willing to pay. Okay, people are rushing to watch the show, right? Because they know that with that amount of money that they pay, they get a value, satisfaction. Okay, I believe when we paid about 300 US dollar to watch the Han show, I believe I get more value than that amount of money which I paid. I really really satisfied. I was really delighted, not just satisfied, I was delighted be able to watch that show. Okay, so what are the main elements? Okay, there's another set of questions I want to ask you. What are the main elements? You just shout. There's nothing wrong or right here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
Amazing. You mean the
way they show, or the way
okay?
they
How
train.
do you describe amazing?
I mean, the way they act, the way they train and show us.
Okay.
Very
This
amazing.
is basically the preparations.
Yes.
Okay. The process of preparing and doing a lot of what is it? Trial and exercise, and they do many times until they perfected their act, then they show. So basically, what actually they do? If we are talking about producing a product compared to this show, okay? Okay, when you produce a product, you went to the factory yesterday, and they come up with a chocolate, yeah, or different type of chocolate. Okay, they go through different processes, isn't it? Until you get a final, fine, nice looking, not only just looking, taste and so on, yeah? You go through series of, processes to achieve that, okay? So, that processes, okay, which they have to go through to be able to produce what you define as amazing show, okay? That cost them a lot of money. Okay? So first, for example, training. Okay? They train. And I think they select the right people. Okay? So the people that are supposed to be trained and be able to show this is not just anybody. Alright? So another part of the element that become part of the value that they consider is actually the people that they hire. Okay? Because you don't see them much except towards the end, yeah? Because most of them are in costumes. So actually they are from different countries, they are different races. Okay? They are the Western people, the Latin people, even Asian people are working together in that, and they select these people, especially if you want to involve in the acrobatic kind of show. They must select people who has some basic training on acrobatic. Okay? Seen in one of part of this hunt show, when they convert the stage into swimming pool, and the swimming pool was really very deep. Okay, because there were two people jumping into the swimming pool from the top of the ceiling. It's something like how many meters? About 50 meters. It's very tall. On the top of the ceiling, they jump into the swimming pool. Okay, if the swimming pool was not deep enough, the guy might crash. Yeah? So, and only certain type of people can do that kind of act. Okay, and it's very expensive. Alright, so they purposely selected these people. So similar to you producing a product. Okay, like if you are anybody driving a Mercedes or BMW, yeah? I know some of you do. Yeah, you inherit your what is it? Your tycoon parents or something like that. Okay, why Mercedes or BMW, a German made, okay, cost something like double than normal car with the same specification? Why it costs double?
The brand.
Beside that, I'm talking about the basic element that add value to achieve that price. Yeah?
Material.
The material. Okay. Okay. Yes. The process that they do. The standard that they use. Okay. Because a different material or different processes have different standards. Okay. So the accuracy of the preciseness of the machineries that they use. Okay. Also differentiate between one product to another product. Okay. What else?
Design.
The design. Okay. I went to BMW factory many years ago. Okay. When I went to their R&D center. I did ask them how many people are working at National R&D. There were more than 1,000 people. And then this guy who brought us in, he shared with me. He said, that time I was not a professor yet. I was still junior lecturer like you. Okay. They told me, but I already have my PhD that time. Doctor, you guess how many people just working for the window? The designers and engineers working just for the window of BMW. I said maybe 10 people. No, you are wrong. There are 50 of them working just for the window. Window is not high tech, yeah. Not like engine or other systems of the car. Window is window. Okay, but even that they already have they allocated 50 engineers and designers. Okay, so the resources that they put and the high standard that they use, okay, are able to bring them to get that high value, and they can put the product with that high prices in the market. So the same thing with this kind of show, people are willing to pay $300 US, not $100 US, yeah? Even they are willing to pay $300 US, because they use high standard, they design the show very well, they created this storyline, okay, and then they make all those costumes which are just fit, suitable for the show and so on. If I have time, I show the Michael Jackson show as well later. And so there are so many things that they put in between that go through these processes, okay, that convert whatever that they have into very high value. Okay. You use a mobile phone, everybody has at least one mobile, yeah? Some of them they have 2 or 3. Okay, I always have only one. I don't need more than that. Okay. Are you using Apple? Apple phone? 6S? The latest, yeah? Oh. I can't afford the latest telephone. I use still the 5S. Okay. And in the market, what's the price of iPhone 6? Malaysian price? About 3,000? Yeah.
3,000.
About 3,000 plus, 3,000 ringgit plus. In US dollar? About 1,000. About 1,000 US dollar, yeah? Something like that. Compared with telephones, similar specification. Okay? From China. What is it? The famous name? Oppo. Oppo, okay. Oppo is from China, isn't it? Okay. Okay. So what's Oppo price if they have similar specs, similar features with iPhone 6? What the price in Malaysia? Oppo. No idea. I never bought. Okay. Maybe something like 2/3 or even half of the price of Apple. Okay. All right. So I have homework later. You have to bring back something that you can read at home later. I mean in your accommodations. Okay. About Apple strategy. Okay. And why they can command a high and premium price in the market, and still people are looking forward to buy Apple product. Okay? Material is not much different. Okay? Design, yes, maybe they have special design. Okay? Certain features of the telephone, maybe they have slightly a niche compared to other Mac. Okay? But they can command very high price and still people still buy. call it premium price. People still buy. How they can achieve that? So we're going to look into this example later, one by one. Okay, and basically the whole course these 2 days, today and Monday, we'll talk about how people create value, what strategy that people adopt to create this value, and when we create value, there are two group of people that benefit value. Okay, of course the first one is the customer. Okay, we target customers. People don't buy a product if they are not satisfied with the product. When they are satisfied with the product, means they already achieve or obtain the value that they expect. Okay, so basically that's what value in my translation value in terms of product. Where Prof. Ahmad talking value is how we what is it, use innovation to come up with value. Because we cannot have innovation if there is no value. Okay, you do a lot of changes here and there. Okay, but there is no value added to it. It's not innovation. Okay, so basically that's what Prof. Ahmad explained. But I'm talking here of value, people willing to pay because they believe that they already achieved that value. That's why they pay. Okay? If they don't get the value, they will complain. That means I pay the product, but it doesn't satisfy me. Maybe there is some defects, or the standard is low, but you pay a high standard product. Another group of people, okay, who are supposed to benefit from this value, who are they? Besides customers or user or consumer, who are other people? They are the stakeholders. Okay? The stakeholders. Okay? So these are the two groups of people who directly benefit from value created. Okay? If I am an investor, one of the stakeholder to a particular business, I want a good return, isn't it? Yeah, I invest 1 million, and I got after 1 month I got back only 1 million. That means I have a zero value. Okay, I can't like giving charity. Okay, like giving charity. Yeah? So I expect there is a raise in terms of the value of the investment that I made. Okay. And later we're going to see compare Apple with other computer companies or these electronic gadget companies in terms of how much value that they created from the product that they made. Okay, compared with other companies. This why they are one of the most successful companies in this world. In terms of sales, they might not be that big, even compared with other products like if you compare Apple, Microsoft, Google, and these are the main players in this similar industry. In terms of sales, maybe they are not as high as Microsoft, for example. Microsoft is much bigger. But in terms of value that they created and the benefit that they obtain from the product that they sell, they make and sell, they are the highest. Okay? So we want this kind of business. If you are involved in any businesses, you are able to create very high value. Okay, another example before we go on into the lecture. Okay, we take an example of education. So you all in education. Okay, you work in university. Your university is public university or private university? All public, yeah. None of you are working in private university. You are working in private university, yeah? Who is the owner? Or who are the owners? Is company or individual or group of people or corporation, yeah? Like we have in Malaysia, we have a big company like Petronas. They have their corporate university. That is business, a big country university. We have electricity company, international, they produce this power. Here they also have a university, they also private. This private belong to corporation, but there are also many private universities belong education. Alright? We compare, like for example, a program that we are doing in this school. We call Masters of Technology and Innovation Management. Okay? We being a public university, we have to charge the normal public rate. Okay? Which is a kind of something like 10 to 12,000 ringgit. Okay? For the whole course. Okay? It's so cheap. Okay? But if you do similar program in a private university, you don't have that opportunity to pay that amount of money to get a master degree. Okay? Normally something like twice the price. Okay, about 22 to 25,000 ringgit to get a master's degree in a private university. Okay? So why there is a difference? Okay. Why there is a difference between public institute and private and public and private program? No. Maybe the public university program is much better in terms of quality. Why there is a difference? Public university, the costs are absorbed by the government. Okay, the cost, the bulk of the cost of the developing and delivering the program are absorbed by the government because they pay for the university. They for the operation and development of the university. Okay, so we actually have not valued those investment made by the government and tell the people who are going to attend this program that actually the cost for this is this much, but you are only paying this much. So actually, we have to share with these people in terms of value rather than in terms of the fees. In terms of fees. Actually, you get value even much better than private university, even though you pay half of the fees. That's the difference. If you were to act like a private university, where the government need to take back their investment, they don't give, but they say, we invest in your university. It's a private university, but we want to take back the money that we invested. We cannot charge that fees anymore, isn't it? Okay. All right. So there is an example in non-product and business-based kind of activity. Yeah. So actually, in any thing that people do, whether it is in the form of full business process or business activity, or even non-business activity like public services, government services, and so on. Okay. So you should be able to relate whatever you're going to go through these 2 days, okay, in terms of how value is created, okay, how company or organization configure their resources, the technology, the process that they have, everything into creating a product or service to the customer with certain value. Okay, we're going to go through that. There are a few models that we're going to go through. I pick up the most famous one, they call it Porter value chain model. We're going to look into that, but there are a few others. Okay, and then we're going to link into how people strategize, how people develop strategy using technology, using resources that they have into creating this product. Okay, so basically that's what we're going to go through in this study. Okay, you of the slides. Okay. But I might not go through every single slide. Okay, I might skip some of them and so on because we have only 2 days. This course is supposed to be delivered in 40 hours class, which is 5 days instead of 5 we're going to do only 2 days. So that's why I just pick up a few elements from there, not every single slide that we do. Okay, basically this is the example of the typical value configuration model that have been created by Porter way back in early 80s. Okay, and some of you were not born yet. Okay, maybe. Okay, some of you might already small children during that time. Okay, somewhere in the early 80s. And we developed this model to show that actually in order for us to come up with high value towards the end of every processor that they go through, there are so many elements to be considered. If you look here, typically there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stages in series that a particular product or particular services have to go through. For example, inbound logistics, okay, materials, people, money, and all other resources, okay, they come into it. That's why I said, for example, just now, the people or different people will have different value. Okay, will be able to create different value. Alright? And then the operations basically is actually the conversion of, for example, raw material into finished product. Okay? Raw material are similarly all the resources, how it is converted into the finished product. We're talking about the product that is manufactured, people can buy and use the product. We're talking about show like Cirque du Soleil just now. This is how they prepare all this, make use of these resources to present a show. Okay, to the customer. Okay, outbound logistics actually how you deliver the product. Okay, how you deliver the product or the services. One feature about this circus company, okay, the concept of circus that they created or they innovate from the traditional circus is now become a theater rather than a circus. It's a theater show, not circus show. Okay, they convert circus into theater. Some of the acts are like circus, but since they have teams, they have permanent theater or people to view. You know, circus normally they move from place to place. They build tents and so on, that people come in into that, and then they move to another town and so on. So that's circus. But this one is a theater. Okay, and very very nice and convenient and comfortable. Place that you can come in and view the show. Alright, so those resources, okay, being converted into the show and how you present it. So they presented in the form of theater rather than as circus. Okay, so similarly, academic program, how university deliver the program. Okay, how we deliver the program, students or to the participants and so on. Yeah. You know, there is a top management program, which is very famous, run by Harvard Business School, for example, in the States. Yeah. Okay. Normally, the program is ranged between 1 month kind of program or 3 months. The longest is 3 months, but people normally go for 1 month because the CEO and managing directors and the bosses of big corporation, they cannot spend too long attending such courses. Okay. And a 1 month course is not 1 year. It's not 2 years, like a master degree. Yeah? You know how much they pay for 1 month? In Harvard? It's top, they call it top management program.
2,000. 5,000.
No,
5,000.
it's too small.
So small. 5,000 in US. Okay. Oh.
300,000 US$ for 1 month program.
Never mind.
And people are queue to get into the program. And people, all the top management people are attending that program. Okay? Like few years back, our former vice chancellor, this university, he got the opportunity to attend this program, 1 month program. The government pay. Otherwise, they can't afford. Even the university themselves can't afford to send to $300,000 kind of program for only 1 month. But people are queuing to attend because they have created the unexpected value. Okay, because these people who attended this program, they don't only attend program. Okay, many of them they started business during that 1 month. That's why they're willing to pay. Right? They build the network, they started businesses, or they expand their businesses during that one month. Okay, so it's different value, different standard that people are calculating. Okay, let's talking about outbound logistics, and then we have of course marketing and sales, very important part of the business. So similarly, even non-business entity, we have this group of people. That is they call it corporate. What is it? Corporate entity. Supposed to tell about the organizations to the public and to other people and so on. Yeah. And other services. These services are after you deliver the product. Okay? You buy a car, okay, you need to service your car. You buy machines, the machine need to be serviced as well. Okay? You attend certain programs, okay? Some good organizers, okay? Those who providers, they have a follow-up activity to support their clients and so on. Really for services. Alright, nanti I want to share with you at the same time we mention through value, so you have to switch on the light here. Have you seen this curve before? A simple I call it value curve. Okay, this axis is value, and this I can split into something like 3 activities. Okay, 3 set of activities. This is development, including research and all that. This is producing. Okay, this is services. Okay, developing. Producing services. Okay, compare between those 3 major activity in any business, in anything that people do. Okay, and this is the value axis. Which are the highest value that you can get from those 3 activities, 3 good activities. The highest value are here and here. This is the lowest, isn't it? You can get a range between here and here for added value. And this is the maximum that you do, that you can gain from producing. Okay? On the left of the curve is where the development activities are done. On the right side of the curve is the services. Okay? You agree with that curve? If you have a factory, okay, the cost of a particular product, for example, a car, yeah? I'm very familiar with, of course, Malaysian currency, not other currency. A car that is sold around something like 100,000 ringgit, something like 30,000, 40,000 US dollar. Okay, 100,000 ringgit sold in the market. Okay, and you know what is the total cost of that car before it go to these dealers or the showrooms. Okay, because between the factory to the showrooms, okay, they already added value to the price of the car. If you buy it at 100,000 ringgit from the showrooms or from these dealers, okay, they already have some amount of profit margin, at least 30%. So what was the original price when it was just come out of the factory? It's only 70,000. Only 70. exact ratio that they use, but if we assume it's 30%, actually the price, the price of the car just come out of the factory is only 70,000. But in the market, you have to pay 100,000. It's only 30% of the value of the car obtained by these people who does the servicing. Okay? And the people who produce the car, okay, they might spend, material is not much, okay, for a 70,000 kind of car, okay, the material cost maybe around 10 to 20,000 material. I'm talking about this, all those, the metal pieces and the non-metal pieces, you know, that they put it together, okay, it's I think between 10 to 20. The rest are all the manpower that they pay, or the logistics, the internal logistics, or everything that product has to go through. Here, these two parts, yeah, will add up the cost to maybe total 50,000. Okay, so the company is supposed to make a margin of another 20,000. That's why they sell at 70. And then when they come to the market, okay, we are already paying 100. Okay, so the value of the car that they produce, yeah, depend on the design as well. Okay, there are a lot of if you I put the value in this chart, this the bar chart. Okay, maybe these are the material. Okay, these are all the processes that they have to pay. Okay, and you have to put certain value based on the standard that you use for the car, right? And on top of that, for example, these are everything, 100% of the cost. Okay, they put a margin. This is the margin to the company that are producing. Okay, the margin, I don't know, maybe 10, 20, 30% is up to them, how they can command the price. And that is the price that they sell. Okay, when you go to the market, okay, there is additional service cost. Services, I don't know, another 20, 30%. Okay, and this is the price that you have to pay. This is price from factory. This is market price. Okay? The market price. Right? You understand? So, standard that people choose for a particular product, that will differentiate between one product with the other product. Okay, I mentioned to you, for example, you buy a Camry 2.0. Okay, in Malaysia cost about 140,000, something like that. In Thailand it's cheaper. You are from Thailand? You are from Thailand. Okay, sorry. Entry. Because I know Toyota car in Thailand is cheaper than Malaysia. Maybe the tax structure is different. Okay. So in Malaysia about 140,000, 2-liter car. Okay, and 2-liter Mercedes cost double, about 300,000, 280 to 300,000. Okay, so because they have different standards, they use different standards. Of course, you compare with Malaysian car, same range like Perdana, they have also similar to Camry. Okay, 2-liter, yeah, it's slightly less than Camry, something like 110 to 20,000. Okay, being local car, maybe they absorb certain costs, whatever. Being the local car, so they want to compete in the market and so on. Alright, so actually those are producing, the margin that they get is not much. Okay, somebody who does the services after producing the subject we are talking is about value here. Okay, value sometimes is real, sometimes is perceived. Okay, perceived value. People believe that yes, this is the value. There is a perceived value. Okay, like for example, I just want to quote an example. Ladies, girl, you buy flower pot. Okay, beautiful flower pot. You go to the factory, the outlets, the factory outlets. Okay, might cost you around. I'm talking about Malaysian ringgit, yeah, about 50 ringgit for example. Yeah? In Malaysia there are a few districts that they produce a lot of this porcelain and clay-based kind of flower pot. Okay, when the product is already sold in the, for example, in an open market, for example, you haven't been to Kuala Lumpur yet, the city. Okay, there is a famous place where tourists like to go because the product there are cheap. They call it Petaling Street. Okay, Chinatown. Chinatown. Okay, maybe if you go to Chinatown, okay, the price of that flower pot instead of 50 ringgit you buy from the factory outlet, okay, in Chinatown maybe already 10 ringgit more, maybe 60 ringgit. Okay, there's already an increase of 10 ringgit. Okay, the same flower pot, you wrap it nicely, with a beautiful box or whatever. You sell in Shangri-La Hotel. There are outlets in the shops in those big hotels and so on. Okay, how much they pay for that? The same flower pot, but in a hotel. 200. Okay, this is I call it perceived value, and people created this. All right. Yes, you want to ask question?
On that.
Yeah.
So is the
On the left.
Yes.
On the left.
Yes.
You want to ask on the left?
So
Okay.
is
On the left is actually developing.
so the x-axis also time scale, isn't it?
Yeah. You can also command high price here. Okay. Command high value here. Okay. Yeah, it range from here to here. Okay. For example, if you take this example, you are producing. This is cost. This is your margin. Okay. Okay. And this is the cost of the product you produce. Yeah. They come out of your factory. And once the product come out of factory, okay, normally people engage somebody to sell. Okay, it's not like a restaurant. Restaurant you produce the food and then you sell. You don't engage anybody else. But in factory normally you engage somebody else to sell. They are either resellers, okay, or retailers, or agents that are selling the product in the market. And these people, they get additional value by not producing, just selling, and they can decide the price in the market. Okay, so we have the problem of petrol price goes down now. Okay, it's nothing to do with the people who go into the what is it, the ground and bring the oil, the production. It's nothing to do with production. Okay, the price of petrol in the market is decided by the people who sell the petrol. It's not the production. Okay, people producing is the same. Okay, everywhere is the same. The cost of producing never change. It change maybe just because of salary of the people that they pay higher or whatever. But it's very small difference. Okay? So the price of the product in the market normally decided by the people who sell, not the producer. Yeah. In fact, the people who sell, they also sometimes decide the price of the item they buy from the producer. It's not the producer who decide, but the people who decide. The people who sell. they have the higher command here. So now they are asking this side of the curve, the very curve. These are people who develop the product. Okay? And these people who own the intellectual property. And intellectual property costs a lot of money. Yeah? I mentioned to you the difference between Harvard Business School program with other university program. Why they can command high value? The people who are producing the program, they are not anybody. There are people like Michael Porter. There are people like Kaplan. I will talk about this Blue Ocean Strategy, the inventor of the Ocean Strategy. These are so famous people. Since that they are developing the program, and it costs a lot of money. That's why they can command very high price. Besides brand, someone you mentioned about branding as well. Brand is additional thing. Okay, people created high premium because of brand, and there's additional thing. But what I want to share with you here is actually people who do this, they created more value than actually producing. Because these people depend on people who design and build the design and create the product. Okay, and you have to pay a lot of money to these people. Yes.
So the graph is showing a process of it's a process of value, right?
Yeah.
The process of value, so at the minimum point should be the end of the producing, right?
Yeah.
And starting the service.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is before producing. On the right is before producing. Any product that you want to make, you need to on the design. Okay. You talk about university activity. People in the university, researcher, for example, they don't design product. They don't develop and design product to be sold. No. They just do research to come up with new technology or new product. After that, somebody else, or maybe the researcher themselves, they want to commercialize the product or the technology or the research output that they produce. Okay? And if you talk to these industry people, okay, if they don't develop their own product, depend on other people, okay, they have to pay a lot of money. Unless they develop their own. Even that, if they want to develop their own, they need good people. Who the developer and the designer who are able to come up with their own product. Okay, I take an example. We have a big automotive car manufacturer in this country called Proton. Okay, has been established more than 25 years. Started with working together with Mitsubishi. First time they make that car, okay, it was basically Mitsubishi car. And they pay a lot of money to Mitsubishi. And Proton only produced at the beginning, yeah? They only produce the car here. And they put Proton badge rather than Mitsubishi badge on the car. That was the first few years. Later they learned through this partnership with Mitsubishi, they were able to make their own model. Okay, which was not the Mitsubishi model. And that development takes a lot of time, a lot of people. They need designers, engineers, okay, to be trained to be able to develop their own, and so on. Yeah? And with that, they were able to produce their own car. Okay, but there are certain elements of the car which they still took from Mitsubishi. They still have to pay. It's very costly, isn't it? Unless if you develop your own, you don't have to pay to anybody. Okay, and one thing about Proton, we are proud of being a local and government formed the company and so on. We develop good people there. They are able to build cars and so on. But there are certain elements that we still need to depend from others. For example, before they were able to build their own engine, they had to buy engine from other manufacturers. Not only just Mitsubishi, they also bought from other car makers and so on. Yeah? So that costs a lot of money compared to you build your own. Okay, so anything that are built or developed by other people, you have to pay a lot of money. And recently, few years back, decided to take Honda Accord. Exactly like that. I mean, they pay a lot of money to Honda and that model, Honda Accord model, and put the badge of Proton with some face change here and there. Maybe the front, the back, and some slight design into our surface. That's all. But basically, it's still Honda. And they pay a lot of money on that. Okay, and later, okay, it's already come out in the website. People show this picture of the new version of this car. Okay, which is done by designer which Proton engaged, but it's not Honda. Okay, Proton engaged one designer, local designer. Of course, when they engaged this designer, they didn't use their own. They had to pay the designer. Okay, but this car is really beautiful, much better than the former Honda Accord. Okay, very beautiful. But the base still Honda Accord. So because of that capability of the Proton to be able to develop new skin, beautiful. It looks like a Jaguar. and Honda, since we still use their base and so on, they said that we're not going to charge the same amount of fees to you, to raise the fees. And they had to pay. Proton had to pay. And that costs a lot of money. So that's what I mean, the implication of us depending on other people to develop our product. So we have to develop our own. We have to develop our capability in such a way that we can absorb all these costs because the value is very high. If you're just focusing on producing, which Malaysia has been doing this so many years, our margin is very small. Maximum that we can obtain from that is 15%. This is, I call it general. We have a lot of electronic companies in Malaysia. Many people invested from Japan, from US and so on. We're back in end of 70s, early 80s until now. Okay, but many of them still focusing on producing. The margin is very low. I don't know about other countries. Indonesia, I think you start to develop your own product as well. Okay, your own technology. Okay, but maybe with the rate like Malaysia, not that fast enough. Thailand, okay, I think you're also doing very well. Vietnam is very fast, moving up very fast. Okay, but other country a bit slow. Malaysia is supposed to be fast, but we have problem with the country. I know. Problem is some leadership problem and so on. Yeah. So we should move faster than what we are now. Okay. Just to compare with you, just to share with you, Malaysia and South Korea in 1950s they are about the same. In 1950s, even 60s, they are about the same in terms of development, in terms of capability. There is 50s, 60s, now 2010, almost 2020. So how many years? 60 years. Okay, 50, 60 years. It was the same. Now South Korea is there, this is still there. In terms of capability, technology ownership, technology capability, as well, we are still far. Talking about this internet facility alone, we are already far behind. Okay, when more than 10 years ago, when South Korea started 4G, we were still 2 and 2.5G, not even 3. Okay, when we do 3G, they already have 4.5 and 5G. Okay, and we are starting 4G, they already have 6 or something, whatever. Even one technology alone, we are already far behind. We are not talking about other technology, car making, shipbuilding, construction, other products, and we are very far behind. You see the rate of the changes that we are facing. Okay, so I hope other country will not follow Malaysia. We follow other more advanced country, not Malaysia, yeah. Okay, but there are things that we can learn from there. So here I want to show the value difference in what our business you are in, which stage of the business you are in. Okay, it's good that being in university, you do all those, you do all the three, isn't it? deliver, and you also service the student as well, or whoever the customer. Yeah. Alright, because we do all everything there together. At least we can retain the value that we created and we own. Yeah. Okay. Alright. So this is an example of marketing services. These are parallel. These are the supporting activities. We go into more detail later. Like for example, these units are necessary unit to support the main activity. Without this unit, this main activity cannot run on their own. Okay? For example, we have human resource management people, infrastructure of the whole campus or the whole plant, whatever. Okay? And the technology development, because what you want to produce will depend on certain technology. Okay? As well as the sales and procurement and supply systems and so on. But these people, they are normally situated in separate common departments that support the whole and the main activity of the organization. Okay? In university, you have human resource department, you have finance department, you have asset management department, you have ICT group of people supporting technology, the computer system in the university. Okay? We have curriculum development, maybe separate from the people who deliver the program and so on. Yeah? So we have library, okay, who provide all the information resources that are required for the academic activities and so on. Right? So it's similar to this. And each of them have certain value that they contribute into the whole process. In the end, you can decide, okay, this is the price of the product that you sell to the customer with certain margin. I'll talk more further later, quoting some example. People who were successfully able to create value and having good margin compared to people who are supposed to have good margin, profit, but since they don't manage their processes to create that value, okay, they experience losses. Okay, they experience losses instead of profit. You heard some company closed down because they didn't make money and so on. Okay, these people who are supposed to generate money, supposed to generate revenue with profit inside the revenue, but they generate revenue without profit because they don't manage the process of this value creation properly. I got example later. I keep talking about those examples. I think I will not go through further in my slides. Okay, some subtopics that we go through. I might jump into one into another later, but I keep following the order. Okay. Any one of you used to be involved in a team to develop strategy, either for your department, your school, or even university? Anybody experience a member of strategy development team? No? None of you? All still very young. But I remember when I was a junior staff like you, at the age of end of 20s, okay, I completed my master degree when I was 26. Yeah, I think 26. And then I have some gaps. I think at the age of 30 I did my PhD and completed at the age of 34. Okay. If I completed my PhD that time, I still can join the MoT course. Maximum age is 35, isn't it? Okay. So during that time, I remember that I already participated in strategic development process of my school. Okay. There was a consultant from IDM who facilitated the strategy development, and I was in the team. So I started to learn and experience developing strategy even at that age. I think somewhere before I did my PhD. Okay. Later I worked, after I did my PhD, I worked in the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, Mechanical Engineering School, but I focus in manufacturing. That is my area, because when I did my master's and PhD, I focus in manufacturing rather than mechanical. I don't do this machinery things and all. I do more on the manufacturing activity. After 2 years I completed my PhD, I created one center called Business and Advanced Technology Center. Then I left my engineering subject. I do a lot of more on business and management program. Okay, and I did quite a number of strategy development initiatives, including the armed forces. Okay, Malaysian Armed Forces strategy in 2005, 2006, when they want to develop new strategy for the armed forces. I was the main facilitator, even to that extent. Okay, reason being why they asked me to do it for them, because the chief of the armed forces at that time was my former student. That's the logic behind it. Okay, he was the chief of the armed forces. When he was a student, he was the chief of Navy, Nation Navy. Okay, 1 year after that, when he completed his master's degree, he did a master's degree in UTM, and then he moved up into the chief of the Nation Armed Forces. Well, now he's retired already. Okay, so there is some experience. Even at university, I also facilitated some of the strategy development program. Well, to mention here, the first part of the whole subject is about leadership. Okay, in any organization, okay, the leader who develop the strategy with the input from the people in the organization. If you don't give to these people to develop strategy, the leader must develop strategy. Okay, so we must have strategic leadership. Organization, in order for them to move, to advance, to be successful, they must have what we define as strategic leadership. A leader who is not just a leader, but a leader who knows and able to plan and see the future and move the organization towards that goal that they want to see, they want the organization to be. Okay, if a leader doesn't have that capability, he's just a manager. That's the difference between leader and manager. Okay, a leader who doesn't have that strategic outlook, strategic capability to think about the future and bring the organization towards achieving that future, okay, it's not a strategic leader. It's just a manager. Okay, just a manager. But a manager who has that capability is a leader. Right? That is I call it somebody who can think the future. Our former Prime Minister, who's now arguing and fighting with the current Prime Minister, Tun Mahathir, he was, I call it, a real strategic leader. He started this Look East policy because Malaysia was colonized by British for quite a number of years, and our reference is always west. Okay, when he was the Prime Minister in early 80s, okay, somewhere middle of 1980s, he said that it's enough for us to always refer to the west. Can we refer to the east? So he developed this Look East policy because he knows that if we keep looking into and referring to the Western people, Europe, US, and so on, we are always behind. We are always behind. We can never be even as good as them. Okay, and we can learn from the successful country in this region: Japan, Korea, China, even Taiwan, and so on. Okay, we purposely don't go and learn from the ASEAN country because we are about the same. Okay, nothing much that we can benchmark between Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia. We are about the same. Okay, so that's why we want to look into referring to somebody. They are similar with us. They are from. We look at what's the same. Okay, our features, our human body features is about the same and so on, like Japan, Korea, and so on. Yeah, because they are much more advanced than many other countries in Asia. So you can be refer to them. And we learn something from them rather than always referring to the rest. Okay, that is, I call it, a visionary leader. He was able to change the whole perspective about learning from others and so on. Yeah? And later he developed what we call it Vision 2020, which he didn't manage to ensure that we achieve this. We achieve this vision. Okay, because he stepped down some years back. Okay? And his successor supposed to continue that vision, but it seemed that I don't think we can achieve the vision. Now it's 2016, we have only 4 years left to reach 2020, and the ideal that is set up by Mahathir that time, I think we need another 20 years, not another 4 years. That ideal, that objective, the vision that he put up there, for it to be a fully developed nation, I don't think we can achieve it in the next 4 years. It's impossible. This my view. It's impossible.
Well,
Yes.
I agree with you.
You agree with me? my local it's impossible. One measure. Just I take one measure. I don't take other measures. Just one measure per capita. A fully developed country talking about $15. Okay, 15,000 US dollar per capita. Yeah? And we are just moving around 5,000. Never go up even 6,000. Yeah, per capita. And 5,000, 6,000, 15,000. You want to achieve within these few years? No way, it's impossible. There's only one measure of a developed country. Singapore already achieved that many years ago. Okay. We are still very far. There is only one measure. I'm not talking about other things, about social factor, about our mindset, our people mindset. I'm still very far. Okay? That's one example. But he was a strategic leader. He sees and he wants to move the country towards that. He has those strategy. He started to implement, at least on physical development. He started. You see what in Kuala Lumpur, you see the physical development. It looks quite okay, acceptable, even though there are many problems created at the same time. But he moved forward to a certain stage. But I don't think he can achieve that vision. Alright. Talking about strategic leader, okay? I quote another example. The famous one. The people who invented Apple. The person who invented Apple. The late Steve Jobs. Okay? He is another person from a corporate body, from a single person who didn't complete his university study. Okay? But he has a big vision. And he made it work. And he was very successful. Okay? The same thing with Microsoft. The owner of Microsoft, the inventor of Microsoft. Okay? And he also didn't complete his university studies. Same thing with Facebook, the creator of Facebook. He also didn't complete his study. But these people, they are strategic leadership. They can think something like 20 years ahead. Okay? You can only think maybe 1 year ahead or 2 years ahead. But these people can think about 20 or even 30 years ahead. Okay? Bill Gates, when he was working with computers in his workshop, okay? Even there was that time there was no Microsoft was not there yet. Okay? Okay, he already had this vision. Okay? This vision is very simple. One day I want to make sure that every single household in this world have one computer. Every single household in this isn't it? Microsoft never sell computer. He sell the operating system for the computer. But he makes money from that. He become the richest man in the world for many, many years. And there was that vision that he has in him when he was young. Even when he was still working in his workshop behind his house. Okay? So this example, an extreme example of a visionary and economic strategic leaders. Yeah. Okay. In Malaysia, we have quite a number of that. You know, Asia. Are you flying Asia as well? Maybe some of you. Okay. So the owner of Asia is another example of strategic leader. Okay. He is an example of a person who knows value very well, and he created value in his company. He created value to his people in his company. Okay, I've got more example later when we talk about Blue Ocean and so on. Yeah. So strategy, this is some basic definition. Strategy is about vision, something big, and you convert it into a plan to achieve that strategy. To achieve the vision, you develop a plan. The plan to achieve that vision is strategy. Okay? One question. Who invented the word strategy? A group of people who started to use the word strategy. It's not business people, yeah? It's military. Okay? Military people. Military people who started the word strategy, because in war they have to have strategy. Strategy to win a war. Okay? So whatever plan that they do, they develop the plan, they act the plan, okay, to achieve that vision to win the war. That is strategy, including tactics, different tactics, whatever that you do. The main objective is to win the war. Okay, so that's strategy. And later, people like Michael Porter, people like a few other management guru started to use the word strategy in business world. Okay. All right. And we mentioned about leadership just now. Somebody who has a vision. He doesn't have a vision, he's not a leader. He is just a manager. He just manages things. But he has nothing to think about what shall he bring the organization to a certain target. Okay? He also able to move the people. A strategic leader not only have a vision, but he able to move the people. You can have vision, but you leave it just on the wall like that. It's not a good leader as well. A leader is supposed to move the people. What is the keyword of leader? Lead, isn't it? What is the meaning of lead? Yeah? Lead means you are in front with what? With follower. You are in front but no follower, you are not a leader. Okay? And a leader are people in front who has a follower and can move the people towards certain objective, certain vision, certain direction. Okay, that's a leader, yeah? And of course, in order to bring and move these people, you have to do so many things. You have to train them, coach them, show example, many other things. That's the function of a leader. Okay, leader is not just a manager. Manager just managing process. They are just helping the people how to perform the process that are given to these people. But a leader, they bring forward, they transform the people to achieve the goal. Okay, and leading strategically is not about where you are. It's not about now. A manager talking about how to do the job now. A leader is thinking about future. Okay, it's about your plan, what you plan to be. What you plan to be. Okay, you are on junior lecturer. Many of you already have PhD, so you already achieved one stage of your vision. I hope everybody has a vision. being an academic. Yeah? You want to be a professor only, isn't it? Otherwise, quit university. Do something else. If you do not want to be a professor, just quit university. Okay, that's what told by the person who interviewed me when I wanted to be an academic. Just graduated with a bachelor degree, and then I went for the interview, and he asked me, why you want to become lecturer? Why you want to become academic? Oh, at that time still young. I like teaching. There are a lot of people in my family close to me. They are teachers, and I just like teaching. Something that I can contribute to. No. Like you put that, it's just doing a day-to-day thing. You just put that means you don't have something that you want to achieve in the end. And I said, can you advise me? Okay. To be an academic, the highest is to be a professor. Okay. After that, you can think of other things. Yeah? But that is the highest to be an academic, to be a professor. And then I said, okay, I take myself. That is my vision. What I get, I must be a professor. And of course, you have to go through so many processes to be able to achieve that. Okay, yeah. So you must have something to plan what you want to be in the future. If that is individual, talking about organization, it's the same thing. Okay, if you are the vice chancellor or you are among the leader of the university, okay, I mentioned about leader, not manager. The leader of the university, this group of people, including the vice chancellor, the president of the university, must think about what will the university be in the next 10, 15 or 20 years. Plan for that, and then develop their strategy to achieve that. Alright, and that is basically leading strategically, number one. Number two is maintaining the vision. You don't change. The vision is still the same, but the way how you do it to achieve the vision can change. Strategy can change. Okay, that's why sometimes people complain. Many people complain, especially academics. The university like to change their goalposts. You know the goalpost. You were trained to score that goalpost. Suddenly the goalpost shifts. Okay, but sometimes it's unavoidable because environment change. Like what Malaysian University experienced these few years. Okay, the government don't have money, so we have to re-strategize. Okay, university have to re-strategize. We don't have money. I already left the university. I retired 10 days ago. Okay, so but I'm committed to be with you for this today and next Monday. Okay, I'll be here last day as well later on Friday. Okay, so but being a university, if I was still in the university, I have to re-strategize because the government doesn't give money for us to develop further. Okay, the amount of money that they give for our operation alone, I'm not talking about development, but operation alone, it's already been cut about 30%. So they said, now you have to find your own money. Oh my God, we are public university. We are not private university. You have to find out your own money. Okay, so that's we have been facing for the last 2 years or so. Okay, being a naughty person sometimes, I always blame the Prime Minister. Okay. Why they have a lot of money, but suddenly we don't have money? Must go somewhere. You know, you pour water. You pour water in a cup. Okay, in a cup. Okay, the water is supposed to be full of that. Okay, but it seems that. I don't know how true is it. We have to establish a fact. There are holes there, and the water level goes down and down. And we have a bare minimum now. Just to run the country. Sorry. I think I want to migrate. Thailand, okay, or Philippines, or Vietnam, or Philippines. Yeah. Okay, so manage toward that vision and communicate the vision. That's another aspect. Yeah, you have a vision, You have strategy, but you want to move your organization towards that vision and strategy. Okay? And who are the people who are supposed to move this? It's the people. And if they don't understand the vision, they don't understand the strategy, they cannot translate the strategy into their day-to-day work, you cannot move. So, you have to communicate. The leader has to communicate with the people. This is a tough job. It's not easy. Big organization like university is even tougher because so many intelligent people, so many clever people in university. They have their own thinking. Because they are so clever. Many PhD holders in the university, isn't it? Okay? So it's not easy to manage. Managing factory is not difficult. Managing university is more difficult. Right? All this Dr. Hong, Dr. Azfar, these are all clever people. Right? It's not easy to manage. Alright, so we have to communicate. A good initiative done by our president, our vice chancellor, is that he has a monthly communication session with all the staff. Monthly, every month. Yeah. Okay, he purposely do that. He organize every first Monday of the month. Okay, to have 1 hour or 1.5 hour. We have 2 campus, the big one in Johor. This is the second campus. Okay, if he is in Johor, he address the staff with video streaming. Okay, so we stay in one big hall here down in the next building to listen to his address. Sometimes he did the address here, and we have video streaming to Johor as well. Every single month, he never miss. Including in that 1 hour, he shared the vision and so on, yeah, with the staff. So that's a good initiative. I think not many universities do this. UTM they don't do it. They didn't do this. But we did it. That's one good thing about this university. Okay? At least one good thing. Okay, communicate vision, yeah? Nature of strategic leadership.
Sorry.
Okay? What's the time now? Being an academic is always academic even you are retired. when you are talking, you never stop. Give me another 5 or 10 minutes before we take a break. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What is the status of QUO mean?
What is
the
it?
Listening strategy one.
Which one?
This one.
Status quo. is status quo is together, not just quo. Status quo means you don't do anything, any changes. You remain as what you are now. That is status quo. Yeah. When we ask you any progress, no, status quo. That means you don't move forward. Yeah. It together, status quo. It's not just quo. Okay. Thank you for asking. Sorry, I didn't explain that. Yeah. Okay, strategic leadership, the process of providing the direction. Okay, I mentioned about vision, something that you want to achieve in the end. A certain period, maybe 5 years, 10 years or so. Okay, and inspiration necessary to create or sustain an organization. Okay, move forward, but don't leave anything behind. I mean, people who are supporting should be supported. Yeah, they are supporting you should be also supported. Okay, they need to sustain the activity. Okay, so it has to be together. Alright, so that is what I call it the nature of strategic leadership. Yeah, and these are some of the components. Just example here, there are 5 of them. First, create vision. I already talked about that. High level of cognitive activity. Strategy is hard mental work. That means this person to be a strategic leader. Or you want to be a member or part of this whole strategic leader, okay, you have a mental capability and capacity to think about the future. Okay, you have to be very creative. You have to, what Muhammad said, you have to break the pattern. Edward de Bono always say about lateral thinking, think outside the box and all, yeah. He said we cannot just think outside the box. We have to break the pattern. you we have to break pattern, but don't break the law. You'll be caught. Okay, so you have high level of connecting activity. You are able to think, and you spend your mind, your thinking into trying to plan for the future. To think what you want to do, not just doing this day-to-day activity. Okay, that is a must. You have to do it, but you are able to use that mental capacity. Sometimes you need a kind of revolutionary thinking. Nothing like this has never been done before. This is like what Muhammad said. Break a pattern. Yeah. Okay. Gathering multiple input strategy formation is democratic. Okay. So, like producing products, similar. Inputs normally there are various input. Yeah. Okay. The same thing when you want to think about strategy, it has to come. The input has to come from various sources, not just your thinking, not just data that you collected, not just input from the members, okay? And you have to have those combinations. You have to have those combinations. Nowadays, even supposed to be much easier because you can get access to data much easier. But sometimes you have to pay. Okay? You heard about big data? Some of you in IT area, of course you know about it, big data. And people now making use of big data using cloud technology, okay, for you to analyze data and develop strategy based on that analyzed data. They call it business analytics. Okay, we need more and more people who are having that capability, okay, to analyze data and develop strategy from it. Strategy, many things. Can be a strategy to come out, to increase your market. That is strategy. Or strategy to to think about coming out new product. Okay, that's also strategy. Decision making to come up with new product development. That's also part of the strategy. Strategy towards expanding your business into another area. Okay, I don't know about your country, but in this country for several years now, foreign universities start to open up branches in Malaysia. Okay, we have something to lead. Monash University, we have Curtin University for Australia. We have Nottingham University from UK. We have initially we also have part of MIT, but no, not the whole MIT. Also opening up branches here in Malaysia. Yeah? So that is their strategy in order to penetrate our market, rather than bringing other people to their country. They strategize themselves to have a unit in this country. Okay? One of our local private university also have a branch in UK, in London. Okay, so that is part of the thing that you should think about, having a lot of thinking, various kind of input for you to come up with your strategy. Anticipating and creating a future. Okay, let's invent a new world. And strategic leader, their job is always this. They always think about what can it be in the future. Alright, so that is some components, basic components of strategic leader. Okay. I will skip the formulating strategy when we go into example of one of the approach by adopting blue ocean strategy, for example. And I also do several strategic management approaches using a technique called balanced scorecard. You heard about that? BSC, balanced scorecard. Okay. In fact, this unity also adopted balanced scorecard, but they embedded blue ocean strategy in part of their strategy development. And Asia adopted blue ocean strategy, very successful. Apple adopted blue ocean strategy. Cirque du Soleil, the clip that you just saw just now, adopted blue ocean strategy and so on. We're going to discuss that as an example of one of the strategic approach, strategic development approach. Okay, so I'll talk more about that process how they formulate strategy. Yeah? Okay. Alright, before we move on, I think we take a break now. We have to talk too long. 1.5 hours, more than that, say 1 hour, 45 minutes. Okay, and take a break. 15 minutes, something like that, and come back. Yeah? Have your coffee, okay?